On January 27, 2025, Muzenzi Prison in Goma, Democratic Republic of Congo, became a scene of unimaginable brutality. As fighting raged between M23 rebels and Congolese forces, over 4,000 inmates broke free. The female inmates faced a night of horror. Over 150 women were subjected to unimaginable terror. Escaping male prisoners unleashed a wave of sexual violence. Many women were raped, tortured, and murdered. The details painted a chilling picture. Between 9 and 13, women managed to escape. Their accounts confirmed the horrifying truth. The horrific events at Muzenzi prison, while shocking, are not isolated incidents. They remind us of the sexual violence that has plagued the Democratic Republic of Congo for decades. The ongoing conflict, fueled by political instability and resource exploitation, has made violence against women tragically common. The DRC, rich in resources, has been exploited, its people caught in the crossfire of rebel groups and militias. This cycle of violence has eroded the rule of law, leaving women and girls vulnerable to abuse. Rape, used as a weapon of war, has become tragically normalized, leaving deep scars on the nation. Recent reports from the United Nations underscore this grim reality. Just days before the Muzenzi prison break, the UN received reports of 52 women raped by Congolese troops in South Kivu. These incidents point to a systemic problem, where perpetrators of sexual violence are rarely held accountable. In the aftermath of the Muzenzi prison tragedy, DRC's Communications Minister Patrick Muyaya condemned the barbaric crime, confirming the rape of 165 women. While his words offer a glimmer of hope, they must be followed by concrete action. The perpetrators, both those who committed these heinous acts and those who stood by and allowed them to happen, must be brought to justice. Justice, in this case, requires a multi-pronged approach. It demands a thorough and impartial investigation into the events at Muzenzi prison, one that identifies and prosecutes the perpetrators to the fullest extent of the law. It necessitates addressing the endemic corruption and lack of accountability that has allowed such atrocities to occur with impunity. But justice goes beyond punishment. It requires healing and rebuilding. The survivors of this horrific ordeal, those who escaped the flames but carry the invisible scars of trauma, need access to comprehensive medical care, psychological support, and legal aid. Their voices, often silenced by fear and stigma, need to be heard, their stories told, their demands for justice amplified. The tragedy at Muzenzi prison is a stark reminder that we are failing the women of the DRC. Their suffering, often relegated to a footnote in the larger narrative of conflict, can no longer be ignored. The international community has a moral obligation to act, to demand accountability, and to provide the support necessary to break this cycle of violence. This means going beyond condemnations and resolutions. It requires increasing humanitarian aid to provide essential services for survivors of sexual violence. It means putting pressure on the Congolese government to end impunity for perpetrators and to implement meaningful reforms within its security forces. It means supporting local organizations working tirelessly to empower women and to advocate for their rights. The women of the DRC deserve more than our empathy. They deserve our action. Let the ashes of Muzenzi prison serve as a reminder that our silence makes us complicit. Let us, the international community, rise to the challenge, raise our voices in unison and demand justice and accountability for the women of Goma. Their fight is our fight. Their struggle for dignity and peace is a struggle we must all embrace.